For the main task in our literacy lesson today, we are going to be seeing if we can write a postcard about our trip to Mexico. So we're going to be using our imaginations today and thinking about all of the exciting things we might have got up to if we were able to go to Mexico. So to be successful, we're going to see if we can use the correct punctuation in simple sentences, which we looked at yesterday. We're going to see if we can use the correct punctuation in compound and complex sentences. We thought about different types of sentences on Wednesday. We're going to see if we can use interesting verbs, adjectives, and adverbs to convey meaning, which we thought about on Tuesday. And we're going to see if we can consider our layout and presentation of our writing, which we're going to talk a little bit more about today. Now, when we're writing a postcard, there are some features and things that we need to consider. We need to consider beginning with a greeting. So it might be something like, hi, Jessica, or dear mum, or whoever you're writing to, you need to greet them. We need to write in the first person because it's you who's writing that postcard. You're imagining that you have been on holiday in Mexico, so you're writing in the first person. I did this, I did that. Because it's a postcard, it's normally written to somebody who you like, a friendly person. So it's written a bit like a conversation. We're going to make sure that it's written in the past tense because we need to make sure that it's about things that have happened to us already. We could include a question. That's a good way of showing off that you understand punctuation and getting the person who's reading it, the person who's receiving the postcard, involved in the conversation. Obviously, with a conversation where you're talking to somebody, you can get an answer. With this, it's asking a question so that the reader can think about it. And of course, add some exciting detail. You don't want your postcard to be boring. You don't want to tell them about what a rubbish holiday you're having and, it was okay when I did this. You want to tell them how exciting it is. So add that detail in. I've got an example of a postcard that I've written here. So I've started with the date and then I've written, Dear Mum, today has been fantastic. I visited two amazing places. The first was Chichen Itza, which had so many steps. I climbed all 365, so I was exhausted when I reached the top. Then I slowly walked down to Tulum Beach. The long, golden, sandy beach went on for miles. The brilliant blue sea was as warm as a bath, and I couldn't wait to dive in for a swim. I can't wait for tomorrow to continue my amazing adventures. What should I do tomorrow? I hope I get to eat some spicy chicken fajitas. Yum, my favourite. See you soon, Mr. Fitzsimmons. So you can see in that postcard there that I have used some conjunctions to link my ideas. I've got which here, I've got so here, I've got and I've linked my ideas together by using those conjunctions. I've used a range of punctuation. So I've got my capital letters and full stops, which I've used consistently. I've got an exclamation mark. Today has been fantastic. It's exciting for the reader. I've used a question mark to ask myself, what should I do tomorrow? I've also got, what else have I got? Commas, there we go. I've got a list here, the long, golden, sandy beach. So I've given a list, which means I've got a comma there, long, golden, and sandy. And I've also got an apostrophe where I've used the words could and not as a contraction, pushed them together to make couldn't. So you can see there that I've actually explained myself well. So if I go back to what needs to be there, I've greeted the person. I've said, Dear Mum. I've written in the first person. I've talked about what I've done. It's conversational and friendly. It's written in the past tense about what I've done in the past. I have used a question, and I think I've probably used enough exciting detail. I've got some good adjectives, some good adverbs, and some good verbs there. So hopefully, you think that my postcard's quite good. I reckon your postcard's going to be better than mine. In your task, you are going to be writing a postcard about your recent visit to Mexico. Remember, I know you haven't been to Mexico, but you learned a little bit about it and you can use your imagination about things that you could do if you had visited Mexico. Remember to include at least 3 places that you visited or 3 things that you've done. And then I've got your checklist here of things that you need to include in your writing. You must make sure you include your full stops and capitals. I'd love to see an exclamation mark, a comma, and question mark. It has to be in the past tense. I'd love to see you using some conjunctions. So I said use at least one of these and then at least 2 of these. Make sure you don't use the same one again and again. Adjectives, verbs, and adverbs need to be exciting and interesting for the reader. And I'd love to see you using some neat handwriting and some joins when you're doing your writing. That would be really, really good to see. So if you need a little bit of help, refer to the checklist and see what you can do. Maybe have a look at some pictures. You could maybe Google some Mexican landmarks and see if you like some of those, and maybe you could describe what they were like. And remember to stick to the past tense and make it exciting. I can't wait to see your letters. Hopefully, they're going to be really interesting, and the people who would receive them would hopefully find them very exciting.